Is this thing on? Hello, champions. No. Alright, that's very amusing, Kadali. What's the music? Always a good question. You're listening to Savage Fire, Instrumental. This is from Bardic Inspiration Volume 1, which you can listen to in-game. This music comes directly from the game. So yes, hello Star Chaser, hello Shodan, hello Dr. Zedgekedge, and Kadali, and Kiwi Mischief, and Starfish, and Cassius, and Zazke Boy, and Irian, and Reaver. Good to see you all. And Catch-23, what up? Hey. Today's gonna be a bit more chill. After all, it's the second week of an event. So we'll talk about Tahani. But also, I'm gonna be following up on something I said I was gonna do last week, which is basically trying to actually put together a Tahani DPS formation using her fellow affiliation members, and just see what that looks like, put her through her paces. Sure, she might not be the most super popular champion in the metagame for optimal play, but honestly, as long as you can still clear content, it doesn't even matter. Hello, Gizareth. Ahoy, chatties! Hey, Counting Coup. Next week, could you do a sing-along with JCM for Moneylender Mert for intro? Oh, Baby League. That's great. I mean, I'd love to do a sing-along with JCM for anything, but I don't think you would enjoy it. Last time I suggested something on Bardic Inspiration, he said he hated it. Those are his exact words. I don't think JCM likes me very much. That's fine. We have different tastes, I suppose. Alright. Let's do the thing. Oh, let's not drop the piping hot tea. It's even hotter than usual. Alright, so. Ahem. Greetings, champions, and welcome to Mars Guiding Hand. I am Mars, and this is Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a free-to-play, officially licensed Dungeons & Dragons formation strategy management game from Codename Entertainment. On this partner stream, we take a look at the latest content. We discuss strategies, new characters, new adventures, new events, new whatevers, and answer any questions that you, yes, you specifically, you have about the game. I'll try my best anyway. So get cozy, get a drink, if you like, no pressure. Join me for a couple of hours as we take a deeper look at all things Idle Champions. Today is Wednesday, October 6th, 2021. And on today's episode, which is episode 79, oh my goodness, we're going to be talking about, well, what else? High Harvest Tide, Year 5, the return of Flint, the return of Torgar, the debut of Tahani, who I've 100%ed now. I was actually farming up her paint layers just earlier today. I think I've got her up to like level 5 or something now. And, oh, it looks like we are actually good to turn this into, well, I kind of want to get rid of the speed potions to start with. I'll just, I'll clear this one out, and let's turn off the area goal. Just a moment. That should, nope. Almost. I want, like, just enough to start another playthrough, which will turn into a deep push with Tahani DPS specifically. But good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you fine, friendly folks who are joining me today. Just enough. Just barely squeaking by here. Just enough. Okay, there we go. So, let's, oh, and I want to turn off potions so that those don't get instantly used. Okay, so, Alright, I'm gonna reset this now. I am Mars. Now, I do want a single tank formation if I can help it. I mean, I guess I'm gonna be doing... why not? I'll do a Tahani free play for Tahani DPS run, sure. That's fine. We'll make it work, or not. One way or the other. It should be interesting, at least. Let's turn off the auto-progress. Yeah, go ahead and get everybody leveled up. That's fine. Alright, now let's put away some familiars, because it's a little bit too much visual clutter. Alright, Tahani. So we're going to go ahead and get you out here. Now, according to people in general, what I've been seeing being talked about is that you pretty much always want to be going Stroke of Green if you're going to be going Tahani DPS. If you just need to stun bosses for whatever reason, then I guess Blotch of Blue, sure. But it seems like most people are taking Stroke of Green, so that's what I'm going to do. Alright, and let's take out everybody else. Because I kind of want to just start from a baseline. Okay. Oh yes, and I have Sasha helping me out today as my moderator. So, shout out to Sasha. Much love. Thank you for what you do. If you have questions for me, go ahead and throw them in the chat. Sasha's going to grab them, put them into a document for me, so that I can get to the questions at my convenience. Which I try to do whenever I'm running out of things to talk about. But I'm such a blabbermouth, it's usually not a problem! Anyway, yeah, that is actually a joke. The version in the game is version not found 404. It's a very good little Easter egg, little joke. I love that. I love when the devs show us some humor. Okay, so we've got the Tahani. We're also going to be using Chaka. I love saying it like that every time. Chaka. And Celise, because if you don't know this, Tahani, our newest character, is also a member of the Rivals of Waterdeep affiliation, which she shares with Celise and Chaka. So Celise is a tank, so we're definitely going to have Celise up here as our tank. Chaka is healing and support character. Okay, so I believe we've got his puzzle going now. And we'll just take him up to his specialization choice. So we'll do the same for Celise. Okay? Alright, now let's just put some bodies out here. Oh, stop that. Stop that! We'll have none of that business. No. Sure, Bailoff is fine. Keelik is cute. And we can go ahead and put Shandy back out here, sure. I mean, we'll probably change some people around. This is just to put some people out there so that we can start working on... Okay, so we start working on Chaka's puzzle. Ooh, he wants a DPS in front? Oh no. Celise is not DPS. Okay, so we want an elf here, male non-binary here, female non-binary, okay. Alright. Well, this will be interesting to puzzle out, haha, as we go. Obviously, I'm not going to keep Frida. Frida's DPS. But this is just to have some characters on the field while I think about some things. Okay, so, to start with, the first question is always, what is today's tea? So, today's tea, I'm actually having something new. Oh, it'd be good if I actually stood this up the correct way. Iemen cha, Japanese tea, irigome blend, hojicha. A roasted Japanese tea with roasted rice. And let me tell you, it smells incredible. The rice smell is, it's very good. Even when I just poured the water in over the tea bag, just whoosh, the fragrance just overwhelming in a very good way. So I'm gonna wait for that to cool a little bit more. This is what the bag looks like. Got this from, like, an actual Japanese store that I found by random happenstance yesterday. I have an adventure to tell you about while I'm setting up this formation. So, for reasons, I was out yesterday, and I needed a bit of an emotional pick-me-up. So I looked for just, like, shops in my area, and I found a totally random Japanese convenience store, grocery market kind of dealio. Absolutely nothing in English, so that was delightful. I just, you just get excited about the packaging, like, ooh, what's this? Ooh, what's this? Ooh, what's this? I don't know what this is. I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna try this, etc. And what was interesting is that there was absolutely no signage for the store. None. It shares a building with a Japanese restaurant. The Japanese restaurant itself has signage, but the market does not. So it was like a surprise. All the Google reviews were saying, like, I know, it looks super sketchy, but you go inside, you go down a long corridor, and you take the first door you see on the left, and past that, secret Japanese supermarket kind of deal. It was really cool. It felt like a private club that I found my way in. So I got lots of goodies that I'm excited about. So that's where I picked up this tea, because of course, if I find a new place, I'm going to get tea if they have it. I did not have to knock on the door with the passphrase. No. Okay, so Reaver says, hello Mars, how are you doing? I've been better. It's been an emotional roller coaster for me, personally, over the past 3 days. I don't want to talk about it, but I'm okay now. I think that's the biggest takeaway. It's pretty numb for a bit, but now I am okay. Definitely good enough to do the show. Although you might not get super excited, super hyped Mars today, you're at least going to get good enough to do a show Mars today. Much love to all of you for your support. But yeah, let's talk Idle Champions. Reaver also has a question. Does anybody know if the pity timer on champion-specific chests are a true random epic, or does it prioritize items you do not have epic level yet? Huh. My gut instinct is that it would prioritize an epic that you don't have yet. But I can't say that with 100% confidence. We might be able to test that, because on the subject of doing Tahani DPS, I have done some free plays. I have been doing some free plays for Tahani. So let's see if this holds true. If we get any duplicate epics before we get any new epics, or if we only get new epics. Come on, hashtag streamer luck. Where are you at, streamer luck? Oh, Gar's just signed in to say that you can't dupe an epic if you have a slot that can get an epic. Okay. So, if Gar is in agreement with me, then it's probably right. It's rare that both of us are wrong. Ah, Trixie. The purple sheen of that threw me off. I'm not going to complain about getting an epic bounty contract, though. Because, hey, that's at least tokens that I can put forward to another run. Hey! Oh, yes! Good! Cooldown. This is one of the slots that I specifically wanted. Exquisite Dart of the Painter for Tahani. It's poison-tipped. Best used with an oil-based paint. Very cool. Okay. And there we go. That's half of them. That's enough for now. I'll open the rest later. Although, I think I will just open all the silvers at once. What?! Why? Alright. Okay. Sure. Sure. That's fine, I guess. I actually got a little lightheaded from that. Okay, I guess I'll get a friendly rivalry shiny. Cool. 1 in 1,000 chance. Cheers. How does this keep happening? I swear. It's not rigged, I promise. I don't know how I could ever prove it to you, but it's not. When I'm not streaming, it doesn't do this. Yeah, there's my streamer luck, so cool, cool. Okay, now that I know that I need female here, male here, and elf. Elf is definitely a more restricted thing, so what elf might I actually want in this spot? It would be good to throw back there. What are my options? Well, I mean, Baloth. Baloth is a drow. Drow are elves. So, I could throw Baloth back there. Yeah. Suppose I could have Tahani in the female slot. Although, that's far away from Baloth. I mean, you want Baloth to be in the column that's right behind or right in front of. Oh, I think was it Kiwi? Good tea does not come in a tea bag. Try a loose leaf and taste the difference. I promise it's worth it. Kiwi, don't you worry. I've got plenty of loose leaf. I do both. I have, God, probably like 20 different types of loose leaf in stock. It's just that there are like certain flavors, certain blends of things that I just can't get as loose leaf, or is a lot harder to find or more expensive. For the puzzle, can you put Gromma as DPS tank support? Yeah, I suppose I could. Gromma is technically a DPS. Even if you don't spec her into her DPS spec, she still counts as a DPS role for the purpose of fulfilling Chaka's puzzle. So that way, we could actually have a tank on the front line who's a DPS, who isn't Archon, because I don't want to actually use Archon. Okay. We can go ahead and start leveling up some people, I think. I'm not sure if I actually want to use Korth here. I think, ideally, I would love to use Talon. I just really like Talon. I think Talon is the bee's knees. He's a very cool character. Although, my Celeste might actually be overpowering my Talon at this point. I remember it was actually very close, but that was some months ago. Celeste may have actually just pulled ahead through raw item levels by opening up random chests since then. The Hero of the Veil fight is interesting in this formation, because the Hero of the Veil is dangerous because they hit 2 columns at the same time. Everyone in column 1 and column 2 is hit when the Hero of the Veil attacks. But in this formation, with Tahani's formation shape, you only have 1 character in each of the front 2 columns, so Hero of the Veil is significantly less of a threat, as opposed to Quent and Torgar's formations. And I suppose also Stoki's and Frida's. Are there any other elves that I want to use? Ayla would be so tempting if I wasn't already committed to using Chaka. And let's see who... Well, I'm not going to be using Archon because I'm using Celise. Part of the whole challenge of this formation I'm trying to put together is that I'm trying to do a Rivals of Waterdeep, specifically, formation. So Tahani, Celise, and Chaka. My rules are that I have to use all the rivals of Waterdeep, Tahani, Silly, Chaka. And that I have to use Tahani as my DPS champion. I'm trying to set her up as my DPS champion. Alright, Silly, so we can always change these around later, but... I'm not sure which of these was going to actually be useful for us. Yeah, let's take Tyr's Eyes to extend the range of her buff. That'll give us a bit more freedom for designing the formation here. Delana is an interesting suggestion. Alright, let's do some more questions while I ruminate on my formation. Silverian asks, I have a question about Azaka farming. Does Stokie stacks help with Azaka's ult? Let's take a look at Stokie. It's been a while, honestly. I pretty much only use Jarlaxle in slot 4 when I'm doing Azaka farming, but we can take a look at Stokie again. Alright, Golden Palm, champions adjacent to Stokie, cause enemies they killed drop 5% more gold for every mark of key active. Well, that should. It's just marking the enemies with their mark of key, and then as long as Stokie is adjacent to Azaka, then that should trigger. Yeah, I'm not picking up any red flags here. That should just work as it reads. Put Stokie next to Azaka, make sure that Stokie's got her marks of key on enemies, especially the enemy that you are Azaka farming, obviously. And then, yeah, have your Azaka use Tigers and have fun. Okay. Old Bald Me and D&D. Okay, interesting name. When is the content of a multi-champ chest determined? When obtained or when opened? If you gain additional champs after you get the chest, but before you open it, will their equipment have a chance of appearing? Yes, to my understanding, it's when you open a chest that it puts a request through to the server to, like, call whatever items are supposed to appear in that chest. So if you collect a chest now and then get the champions that would qualify for the equipment in that chest later, then that chest should still contain, potentially, items for those characters that you've picked up. That's my understanding. Idiot control someday. You're not an idiot. Well, unless you just like being called an idiot, then I suppose that's your own label and you own that. Do you have any recommendation for converting favor at the end of the event? I have E11 Helms and E13 Kellenvor. Still pretty new, so those are the only two I'm working on. Okay. It looks like you get a pretty hefty bump when I convert Shantaea's favor. Does it make more sense to bulk up Helm or beef up Kellenvor? Okay, so there's a few things to consider here. One, over in Helm, let's see, where is it? Oh, there it is. It's a tier 1 local blessing, have faith, increases Helm's favor earned from event and time gate conversion by 5%. So it's like, if you want the most efficiency, if that matters to you, then you can convert to Helm, if you're investing in this blessing. Otherwise, E13 Kellenvor's favor, you say? That's what you're at? Okay, so you are within reach of going for the Azaka Unlock adventure. That's Azaka's Procession Part 2 over in Tomb of Annihilation campaign. So if you haven't done that yet, I would suggest to convert to your Kellenvor's favor so that you can have even more of a leg up on having the favor to do that. See, the favor isn't as important as making sure that you can hit E94 damage with a single attack while missing the centermost character of your formation, because that's the restriction of that variant in order to unlock Azaka. So, if what you need is more favor to get to that point, especially with the recent level cap increase, then I think that's what it comes down to. Either, if you still haven't unlocked Azaka yet, put it in your Kellenbors. If you have already unlocked Azaka yet, then, yeah, go ahead and just put it in your helms, because that is more efficient in the long run. Plus, unlocking Ulcoria is much more difficult than unlocking Azaka. Pride of Nature, you have version not found 404 at the bottom of your screen. Yes, I am aware. Several people have pointed this out. It's a joke. In the game right now, if you're playing on Steam or other platforms that are like kept more up to date with recent releases, the version of the game is 404. So the devs put in a very funny little Easter egg joke little bit here that says version not found because a 404 era, as in the internet. So, since my little doobly-doo down there is simply says what version of the game that I'm playing on, I decided to cash in on the joke as well. That's all. There's nothing wrong with the overlay, don't worry about it. Just a joke. Oh, thank you, Lyra. Yes, it is very good. I love when the devs show their sense of humor like that. Alright. Silverion, you can get gold chests from free plays. Yes! So you have a 1 in 3 chance. Whenever you're doing a free play, like I'm doing a free play right now, see, it shows that I'll get one mystery chest. It'll be a Tahani chest, so for this character specifically, and it'll be either a silver Tahani chest, which I don't have any more of right now because I just opened them all and got a shiny. I forgot about that already. Or it'll be a gold Tahani chest. You have a 1 in 3 chance that it'll be a gold Tahani chest instead of a silver Tahani chest. And if you have not received a gold Tahani chest after 3 consecutive Tahani free plays, then your next one will give you a guaranteed gold Tahani chest. So like if you do 4 free plays, right? And you go like silver, 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 bad luck. Well, there's a pity timer, an invisible pity timer. On your next run, you'll get a guaranteed gold one. But the odds are in your favor that you will likely get a gold before you hit that pity timer. Let's open up the rest of these, and we'll just open them all up at once. I just want to see what I got. I don't want to wait for our lives to be over. Okay, Pesket Tunic. Now, this is what I call an upgrade, and Exquisite Bangles, only for fancy occasions. Very nice. So, okay, that puts my Tahani at 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 epics and a shiny. A shiny blue! Alright. Would like to get this to an epic. What does that put her item levels at now? I wonder. 142 average! Oh geez, I should not have given her blacksmithing contracts. Now she's pulled ahead of even Regis and Turiel and Cathris, and probably a lot of my event characters, actually. I think she's ahead of Freely. Alright. So yes, Silverian, you can get gold chests from free plays. Lodux, question, I've been setting a familiar on Tahani's ult to maximize paint daubs. I think that's a catch, too. I think that's a good idea. You're asking, is that worth it, or should I only do that after approaching the wall? So, I've got a pretty good cooldown on it at this point. It's 92 seconds. But the way that I was farming things up for Tahani, I went to Mad Wizard, and I set up a formation that was basically Briv, because he has self-healing with Flow, right? Tahani, obviously. And then anyone that could make her attack faster, like Korth, or make the game go faster. Like Melf. I waited for Melf to have an increased spawn speed set of 50 areas. And then I went up to where the damage kind of metered off, so that Tahani was able to get kills and no one else. And I made sure to put a familiar on her ultimate, and then I let it ride overnight. I made sure I had an epic speed potion on, and I also put a few hourly speed potions on her. I basically tried to have 10 times speed uptime as much as I could, and in result, I am at 125,000 total painted enemies, current layer 5. So there's still a long way to go. Layer 10, it's the highest, still a long way to go, but I reached layer 5 overnight by just having a good setup for it. So we're going to see like how much that really helps us out with trying to actually push with this formation. Yeah, layer 5 overnight, it's no joke. Yeah, 6.6 million! 6.5 million painted enemies for layer 10. Thank you, Gar. I knew it was something huge like that, but I couldn't remember exactly off the top of my head. But that's a lot! So, if I got to... Let's say I picked up 120,000 overnight on 10 times speed. Then I would have to leave the game running like that with her farming those paint stacks for weeks. I think that's multiple weeks at that point to make that actually reach layer 10. So it might happen for me. But I wouldn't count on it. I don't think I'm that patient. Not even my Torgar is at full stacks yet. You can farm Torgar at the same time if you put it next to Tahani. Hey, that's a really good point. I had not considered that. Thank you, Eldritch Colossus. And that's a very cool name, also. Okay. Grand Shogun 35. What are shinies for or about? Oh! Cool. I get to tell you what shinies are. So, any chest that gives equipment, like even a silver chest, has a 1 in 1,000 chance of producing a shiny item. You're not going to see me get a random shiny from opening up just one chest at a time. Maybe from 50. Probably not. But you have a 1 in 1,000 chance of getting a shiny equipment item, or any equipment that could drop from the chest that you're opening. So for regular silver and gold chests, that's going to be for your evergreen champions. That's the core 12, Brunor, Celeste, Naeli, Jarlaxle, all the way out to Archon, plus the unlockable evergreens such as Hitch from the newsletter, Drizzt from Grand Tour of the Sword Coast, Azaka from Tomb of Annihilation, etc. The non-event champions. Those show up in the silver and gold chest. Okay. Also, event champion chests, like my, I don't actually have it right now, my Tahani chest that I've been opening, those will also have a 1 in 1,000 chance of giving a shiny for Tahani specifically. What a shiny does, why this is so useful, is it's a modifier for the equipment. You see how the inner border of the card here changes from this like brown color to this silvery color? It also says shiny at the top, just to the right of the item level. It says shiny level 112, level 112. So what a shiny does is it's a plus 50% increase to whatever bonus, whatever effect that item would normally have. So it says here, increase the effect of Tahani's friendly rivalry ability by 324.9%. That would be 50% less if it was the exact same item at this item level and at this rarity, which is blue, rare, without shiny. So, you want shinies. Shinies are good. Shinies are your friend. We also call them gilding. So that's what shinies are. That's why it's always exciting when you pull one, and it's extremely rare to get a natural event shiny. In my... Goodness, I am also in year 5 now. In my, I'll just go by Steam hours. 20,737 hours of playing my account on Steam. I believe that is my 3rd ever natural event shiny, while an event is active. So the fact that I even caught it live on camera, on stream, it's pretty cool. Very cool. Everyday J question, is anyone else late on getting their weekly time gate shard drop? I'm going into day 8 without mine. I could have sworn it was approximately a 5-day timer. I have not noticed that. And I have not seen anyone talking about that either. If anyone else has been experiencing that, please sound off in chat. But it's the first I've heard of that. If you suspect that there really is an issue, then you can send in a ticket. If you don't know how to do that, you just have to go down here where it says the support button in the bottom right, the question mark, click on that. Support will open a new browser tab, click OK, and then you can send in a ticket. Oh, that's fun. We have someone recruiting for a Trials of Mount Tiamat group in chat right now. Tyranno wants people to join them for the trials, which does remind me, we should do that too. I've got 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes and 50 seconds, so, alright. In 5 minutes, I guess, we will set up for another trials team. So if you want to have your chance to play Trials of Mount Tiamat with me, to be in my group, then please join up. We had a great success this past week. We took on the 3rd level of difficulty, and let me see. I have started writing down everyone's names so that I don't forget. We had Dr. Zedgekej, Beardy Dan, Philip Dixon, and Apollo 12 who joined me for that round, and we won. Handily, I would say. In fact, I was not the top DPS contributor. I wasn't even the 2nd place. I think I was 3rd or 4th. So, cheers to you all. You really brought the dragon down. We will be attempting the next level of difficulty once I am capable of doing so, once I have the timer is run out. Ghostwalker, why don't you want to use Archon? Because same slot as Solis, and part of my challenge is that I'm going to be trying to use the affiliation for Rivals of Waterdeep, because that is Tahani's affiliation. Kiwi Mischief, question, I'm trying to unlock Azaka, thanks for the guide, Gar, and need a minimum of E16 favor. Is that total favor including spent favor, or just what I have available to spend? Probably just what you have available to spend. I mean, ultimately, brought the dragon down. Wrong event, Mars. That's the High Harvest Tide. Hey, that's pretty good, Gar. We do have an event called Dragon Down. Oh, wow. Wouldn't it be cool if, like, when the Dragon Down event is live, there's, like, a server-wide buff for everyone to fight Tiamat? That would be so cool. That'd be very, very fitting, very appropriate. After all, you'd only get, like, 2 runs in during that time, so it's not like that's giving an incredible amount of value to players. More like just a fun little nod. That would be neat. But, yeah, I mean, you just want your favor as high as possible, Kiwi Mischief. If you have E16, like, readily available, like, if your Helm 4 favor says you're at E16, then great, give it a shot, try it. But it's more important that you just need to be able to hit that damage number. You need to be able to hit E94 in order to take chunks off of a Serac during the final battle. Hero of the Veil only hits 2 rows. He hits all of your heroes at once when you fight him, Captain Nidget. Really? I've only ever seen him do the front 2 columns. Do you happen to have all of your characters in just 2 columns? Because that would explain that. Oh, it's the wrong button. Francis, you like Torgar? I'm trying to grind Torgar. Power is a good strategy. I respect Torgar. I am not an avid Torgar user, but I've heard he is good for evil DPS formations, specifically. And also, he just looks really cool. I'm going to swap him in here for just a moment so that we can show him off. We can get and turn off my auto progress so that eventually, like, watch his attack animation when he does it. He does it like, whoop, he spins the swords and then rushes in. That's such a cool flourish that they added in there like that. Ah, I love that. Ah, and it's so smooth. It works so well. I wish more champions had flourishes like that when they attack. Ugh, it really shows you like just how much of a showman Torgar is. It's fantastic. Plus, he's got some of the coolest skins. I mean, Gladiator, look at that. Dual tridents, and he still spins them. And that helmet! Ugh. It's extremely good. One of the coolest skins in the game. So, I respect Torgar, but I don't personally use him very often. Mainly when I do use Torgar, it's just because I'm in a fun mood, not because I'm trying to push super hard. But I've heard that he's good for evil DPS formations. I like playing a good guy, personally. Who did I have out here before? Oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, that's right, I had Hitch. Okay, let's turn the auto progress back on. 00 Wizard 00. Is there a damage versus mob health to where you will never do any damage? Yeah, I believe it's like the absolute upper limit of what you can reach, like when you're close to the ban wall, as it's called, which is like 1500, like zone 1500. Eventually, you get to a point where, I think someone showed, this is maybe a year ago or so, like there was an exploit, short-lived, in the game for a time that you could use to basically get to absurd levels of power and number of stages. And someone showed that eventually enemies like hit for infinite damage. So you just can't survive it. And also like they just have astronomical health values at that point. So you're basically asking, is there an upper limit to progression? That's the real question here. And the answer is yes, by force. Because ultimately, if you go extremely far, farther than you are supposed to be capable of reaching, then the game will, like, shut you down and say, like, no, what are you doing? You're obviously breaking something. Don't do that. Onyx Squared is a fun question. Hi, Mars. Is there a secret tank, much in the way that Hitch is a secret DPS? Thank you. Okay. So, it's not so much a secret tank as much as the first thing that comes to mind. People tend to assume that Donar is a tank for some reason. I guess because he's a big boy? He's not. He's not. But also, Brunor has an Overwhelm increase that you can get. Jamila, likewise, has an Overwhelm increase feat that you can get. And even has some upgrades that have to do with, like, increasing her health and making her fight better when she's, like, next to other tanks. And now, yeah, people in chat are mentioning Artemis. The real answer to your question is Artemis is the secret tank. Oh boy. If you set things up in just the right way, you can have just laughably powerful temporary hit point shields on Artemis, making him nigh unkillable. It's very amusing. Yeah. As Gar just mentioned in chat, it's basically just a party trick. Yeah. And isn't that good enough? Like, Gar, when I asked in your stream the other day, is it possible to get Tahani to have, like, perma-stun, basically, by just reducing her attack down to, like, 2 seconds and making sure she's on her blue paint spec? It's just for fun. It's the same thing as for doing Tank Artemis. It's just fun. That can be good enough sometimes. But I don't think you can, actually. I don't think it's possible to get Tahani's attack low enough yet. Maybe with some other champions that influence her attack speed or something, but I don't think yet. Gar says, Mars, I've been told repeatedly in Discord, fun is not allowed, only meta. Yeah, we definitely have those types of players in our community. And they're just as much part of the community as everyone else is. Dr. Zedgeketch has a question for me. I remember you. You just did a trial with me. Question, with changing the basic area goal that came in today, isn't it impossible to do higher difficulties right now? In Grand Torment, you need to beat area 1150 on day 1. Oof. Yeah, I know there's definitely some spicy talk going on about the changes to the Trials of Mount Tmat. I know a lot of people are upset, and I mean rightfully so, I'm sure. From what I understand, since I can see both sides of the curtain now, it was always supposed to be like this. It just slipped through the cracks. There's a spreadsheet that shows the information that's like months old. It was always supposed to be this way. But now it is fixed, so now we can adjust and adapt and plan around it. So I guess we kind of had easy mode for a few weeks, and now we're... Now the real fight begins, I guess. Personally, the thrill of challenge is fun for me. Hashtag Dark Souls. So I'm okay with this, but I recognize that it is definitely going to, and has, upset a lot of people. Hopefully, things will get better. Like, as they hopefully actually manage to, like, roll out the, I don't know, changes. Like, the community has raised their voice about certain things that they would like to see changed about the trials, and they see the discussion. I don't make decisions or anything content-wise at all, so time will tell, but hopefully there'll be some quality of life updates that come through. I believe that's their focus right now, is quality of life updates in general anyway, so maybe we can keep an eye on it. I take some solace in that the Trials of Mount Tmat is definitely an endgame system right now. It's definitely not affecting the majority of the player base, I would imagine. I would imagine that most players aren't at the point where they can do Trials of Mount Tmat, like they might not even have it unlocked. If this was something that affected, like, everybody immediately, then that would be more upsetting, for sure. But, well, it is what it is, and we just have to make do. Speaking of, mine should actually be available now. So, let's see. Alright, so we have completed Normal, Heroic, and Master. So I am ready for Legend. Alright, we're going to do Private Campaign. Here we go. So, if you want your chance to join me, your friendly neighborhood Mars, in an attempt at a Legend difficulty, Trials of Mount Tiamat, good luck to all of us, then keyboard's ready? Here we go. Your campaign join code is R722, and I'm going to go Swamp, and I am going to choose Makos. So, get in on this. The only requirement I have is that if you have done a trial with me before, not again. I want to keep it, like, fair and open to as many players as I can. So, maybe, like, after a sufficient number of times that we do this, I'll open it back up to repeats. But I'm actually keeping a spreadsheet of names now. So anyone who has played in my Trials group, thank you. I love playing with y'all. We've won every time so far. That's been great. I even got top DPS from the second week that we did. I wasn't expecting it. Yeah, it is pretty nice that I have a 777 Makos. That's pretty cool. I like that. Oh, I'm gonna step back to someone made a comment about the Hero of the Veil hitting their entire formation. Let's see what happens here. We're gonna let the Hero of the Veil walk up. They might only get like one hit in before they die. They might even get to the formation, jeez. Oh no, here we go, here we go. Come on, come on. Okay, 67, 67. It only hit the front two. It only hit Hitch and Grama. Damage numbers did not appear over the rest of the formation. So, front two columns. That's it. Alright, do we have a full game yet? No. Nobody wants to play! Do I need to reduce the difficulty? R722 is the code. I'll check on it later. And if nobody joins up, that's fine, no big deal. I'll end up posting in the looking for group thread on the Discord and see if I can recruit some people there. Oh, some people's timers are not up yet. Ah, okay. Well, seeing as how I don't have anyone yet, you have time. Hopefully you'll actually have a chance to join me. Silverian, is there a way to know how many chests you've opened? Not without third-party websites. There are resources that other players use. I won't mention them here directly, but they exist. And use them at your own risk, because it does have to access your player data in order to read that information. So that could put you at risk. Your choice is your own. But in-game, no. There's no way to see that. I wish there was, though, because honestly, just being able to review those stats would be fun from time to time. Just like, oh, look how many things I've done. Yeah, it's nice seeing those stats. I wish we had more visibility on that. Kavarn86 question, any tips for someone that just started an Evergreen Challenge? That just started an Evergreen Challenge? Kavarn, could you clarify what you mean by an Evergreen Challenge? Do you mean an unlock challenge for a non-event character such as Dritz, Dazaka, Dragonbait, Olkoria, Rhea? Any of those? Or do you mean something else? Let me know in chat, please. Okay, so I'm going to take a few minutes here to actually sort out this formation a bit. Oh, my join code is R722. The letter R is in Romeo, and the number is 722. Okay, so we have L. I'm going to take some people out of here. So it's less clutter. So I definitely need a female character over here to be buffing. That is 3 steps away from Tahani, so that still works. Well, Tahani needs to be in front of Bailoff, for Bailoff to be in that elf slot back there. Okay. So we definitely have Celeste, this is fine. I'll take Arctic Grama, because that's just easier. I don't like having to wait on stacks to build up for Mountain Grama. Chaka's actual placement. Try and increase the effect of the celestial puzzle 100% for each puzzle slot he's adjacent to. So it looks like the most adjacencies we can get right now is just 2. Oh, Kavarn says they're trying to do the normal campaigns with just the Evergreen Champions. Patience. Absolute, unrelenting patience. Because as Gar says, it's going to be incredibly slow. Incredibly slow. Are you trying to do gearless? Because if not, at the very least, you can open up some chests and get speed potions, and that'll help. But if you're trying to do gearless all Evergreen, then, oh boy. You're doing like me, then. Because I did start up another account. On the last day of the anniversary event special that we had, the anniversary week, I started up a new account, and it's gearless, core champions only. Why do I do this to myself? I don't know. I crave it. I crave the pain, I guess. We haven't even leveled Bailoff. I need to fix that. I'm probably going to stick with Bailoff because he is one of the best supports to use in the game. Okay. I'm not married to Shandy though. This could change. Oh, what if we did Potpourri? We have tieflings. Tahani herself is an Aarakocra. Do we have anyone in here yet? Nope, still nobody. Wow. Okay. A forward-facing... Maybe I'll have Tyrell in here. Maybe... Well, Averin is an obvious choice. Yeah. Oh, good. And yeah, he can be in the male slot there. That works. Tahani, how's your charisma? Terrible! Oh my goodness! 7? I did not realize Tahani's charisma was 7! Okay, so we're not using Hitch. Grama is potpourri. That is also a good point. Dragavondo. Yeah. So yeah, potpourri Ashara might be useful here. I'm not actually sure if Talon is going to work out, because we want, like, evil characters in the party to buff protagonist, since we're using a good aligned DPS. Yeah, I don't think Talon's going to work out. Let's just grab Celeste. Celeste, you can be here. That's fine. Sure. Let's take War Domain. Let's do that, let's do that, let's do that. I definitely want Averin in here, because Averin is kind of unstoppable. But I do need to respec Averin, probably. I bet Averin's set to neutral right now. Yeah, let's change him to good and sturdy. That's better. Okay, and still not really sure about Shandy. Freely's always a good choice. Yeah, that works. Okay, and... Can I work with Helic, actually? Can I make this work? I think this could do. Okay, because Tyrell's still getting the same adjacencies for Moonbeam. Like, you can get 1 if you put him at the very front, but if you do that, you're going to want to use his bear form instead, or his wild inspiration, his tank specialization. But placing him anywhere else, the least adjacencies you're going to get the fewest is going to be 2, so this is just as good as putting him here, or here, or here. So I think this is a functioning formation at this point. Oh, Captain Idjit says they're on Armor Games version 397. Maybe Hero of the Veil got nerfed on Steam, because he's definitely hitting your entire party this entire event. Really? Okay. Is anyone else playing on WebGL that you can confirm that the Hero of the Veil boss is hitting your entire formation? Alright, let's see what Chaka has in store for us with Sunday Edition. Oh! Ha-ha! Hey! He tagged his own spot for male non-binary, and since he is himself male, then he has fulfilled that position. So I think we actually have a functioning full puzzle formation with Chaka here. I think all of this works. I think we're good. I think we have a functioning formation. So let's see how far this goes now. Yeah, why not? Let's turn this off. Let's put a speed potion on. Epic speed. And let it ride. Okay. Swap with Freely. We can. I don't think we need to. The specialization on my Keelik is Empowered Blessing. Champions exactly 2 slots away from Keelik contribute twice as much to Bless. And Tahani is... Oh, actually... maybe we can switch out Celeste then. Donar could be good. Let me move Donar with Tyrell. There we go. How about that? That works. Okay. There we go. Alright, back to questions. Now that I've got the formation sorted out, let's see what you all have for me. Padilla Lorebiter. If you're free play farming for gold chest, how far should you push to increase your odds? Or can you just hit 50 and reset? Just hit 50 and reset. All you gotta do. The further you go during an event free play does not increase your odds of receiving a gold quality chest instead of a silver quality chest. So you can just hit 50 and reset. That's why I have my automation set up at 50, because I just had them grinding out Tahani free plays earlier today. It doesn't matter how far you go if all you're going for is the chests. Just hit 50, like beat stage 50 and then reset it. Yeah. Andrea Raven got Freely recently. Oh god, he's wonderful. Yeah, Freely's awesome. Freely, is really like universally useful. I mean, buffing, debuffing, gold find increase. It would even be interesting to try Freely as a DPS to see how that goes. Okay. Tracker. When is the best time to use blacksmithing or bounty contracts? Hey, bounty contracts, only when an event is live. Only when an event is live for bounty contracts. Some folks like to use them when you have pushed up to your wall, because you can squeeze a little bit more gold out of your run that way, and thus the favor that you're gaining. Like if I use this here, you'll see that it drops a lot of gold on the screen. So if you do that close to your wall, when you're trying to push for favor, then you might get a little bit more gold and thus favor that way. But for me, I don't care. It's fine. So I would just use my bounty contracts while an event is live, and that's the only stipulation. For blacksmithing contracts, only ever use your blacksmithing contracts on event champions, and this is why. So here's an event champion, Xander. His average item levels are currently 102, and that's because I have fed Xander some blacksmithing contracts. The same thing is for all of my event characters, and they're all going to be at least average item level 100, because that was my goal for a while. I finally hit that. I think the last one was, well, I guess technically Tahani, because Tahani was definitely under average item level 100 this morning, and then we opened up like 60-something chests for her, and it got a lot better for her. Why you don't want to use blacksmithing contracts on your non-event champions is because over the course of time, your non-event champions, your core champions, your evergreen champions, are going to end up having just astronomically higher item levels compared to everyone else. I mean, even just Bruenor standing next to Deacon, average item level 3,000 something, as opposed to average item level 200 something. And that's with investing contracts into Deacon, and not into Bruenor. Because you're going to always have an easier time amassing regular silver and gold chests, and thus item levels for your core champions, than you will at amassing event champion chests, or even patron chests, which can contain gear for your event champions. Nerds are cute and tasty. I didn't really much care for nerds when I was a kid, but after trying the Nerds Gummy Clusters, because of that promotional event that Idle Champions did with nerds, honestly pretty good. I would definitely get those again, actually. XCWE. Just unlocked Rhea as your 50th champion and unlocks Ariel. Nice! Congratulations! That's definitely a milestone. Any idea what would be a good next milestone to attack? Awesome. Catching up. Yeah, since you've hit your 50th champion unlocks Aerial, catch up. Get the rest of the available champions. Let that be your next milestone. Regardless of gear, just focus on actually having them all. Then once you're caught up, you just unlock the next character that comes with the next event, and you just keep pace that way. It becomes much easier once you've actually fully caught up. Kiwi Mischief, is there a guide to getting paint stacks for Tahani? I don't think there's a dedicated guide for it. I haven't checked, but I would imagine... Hey Gar, if you're still around, does your guide contain any tips about specifically farming Tahani's paint stacks? Because, I mean, what it really boils down to is set up a Tahani DPS formation, go to a stage that has a fast spawning mechanic, like many of the stages in the Mad Wizard Adventure and Grand Tour of the Sword Coast. Make sure that your tank cannot die, because they're either Ayla, or Tyrell, or Briv. Put on some speed potions, put a familiar on her ultimate, and let it ride. And eventually, she'll get everything taken care of that way. That's how I got 120,000 stacks last night. I just set that up and just let it go. Long-time lurker, Mars, can you show us the Cribbler, please? Garo keeps refusing and says to ask you! Okay. I will do this for you. That is funny that Gar pointed you my way to do that. Alright, because Gar said go to me instead, like... Is that a... That just made me think of, like, go ask your mother. Go ask your Marsther. That's nothing. Ignore me. That's nothing. Anyway, yes, I'll show you how to activate the Criddler. So, here's Crowy. Put Crowy on slot 3 for leveling your champion. Now get Benwyn as your slot 3 champion. And now, just very quickly, click on Crowy. Like 3 times. And then Crowy will become the Criddler, even if you take Crowy off of Benwyn. There you go. There's the Criddler for you. Oh, but he doesn't stay that way. He does change back eventually. Wait a second. Sean, are you serious? You didn't know that? Really? It's one of our very few Easter eggs in the game. There are, like, a couple more. You really didn't know? Oh, that's so cool. I'm glad that I got to be the one to tell you about a secret in your own game. Wow. What a fun experience. Yeah. Did you know about the Minsk Easter Egg? Do you know about... The only other one that I can think of, there's 3 in-game that I know of right now. There's Crowy with the Criddler. There's version not found 404. That's the newest one. And the only other Easter egg that I know of is you go to Minsk, and if you hover over his strength, that's 18/93, which is a reference to the Baldur's Gate video games, I believe. That's it. Ashara's base ultimate cooldown is what you'd refer to as an Easter egg. Expand. Is it just because it's very long? Oh, it's 420? Really? 420 seconds? Okay, that's funny. Oh, because it's a fireball! It's literally 420 blaze it. Okay. I don't know how that slipped by me for 4 years. That's amazing. Poor champion, I never put that together. Cool. Okay. I don't condone drug use. But that is a funny joke. That is a funny reference. LoJack, what's this change coming? Haven't seen it. Are they changing the area goals for the DPS boosts in Trials? So there's a Reddit post about this, as well as on Discord. But I actually have the Reddit post up right now. So, Trevor posted this yesterday. This is what's changing, according to the post on Reddit. Change the calculation of complete Trials Adventure area goal to take the difficulty into account. Before, it wasn't taking difficulty into account, now it does. Each difficulty higher than normal has a 150 area higher base requirement, i.e. Heroic requires complete area 250 on day 1, instead of complete area 100. 275 on day 2, Master requires 400 on day 1, 425 on day 2, etc. Also change the calculation of DPS earned by successfully completing the area goal to take difficulty into account. Each difficulty higher than normal has a base DPS reward 100 higher, i.e. Heroic Day area goal DPS starts at 200, Master starts at 300. And I'm just reading verbatim from the Reddit post, by the way. It goes on to say, change the calculation of daily increase in DPS for area completion to be more round numbers. Day 2 remains 10% more than base, Day 3 is now 20% instead of 21% more than base, Day 4 is 30% instead of 33.1% more than base, etc. So I believe, overall, things just got more difficult for people doing Trials of Mount Tiamat in general. And that's it in a nutshell. Pride of Nature, for Trials, will Tiamat's health be increased? Because it seems like if it isn't, the higher DPS bonus seems like you could finish in 3 to 4 days, even at high difficulties. I don't believe it is. I haven't seen it mentioned anywhere publicly that it is. If it's being discussed privately, then I either haven't seen it or I can't speak to it. But I have not seen anything about Tiamat's health changing. So, maybe. Like, if the increased DPS actually does go up from these changes, and you're able to actually reach those area goals to get that further increased DPS each time, then, yeah. It might be that we have kind of a more of a high risk, high reward as far as stage goals versus DPS gains. That might be what we're looking at now. So that it might be harder to reach those area goals, but in exchange, if you do, you get more DPS out of it. Might end up just saving people time in the long run, because then you would be presumably fighting Tiamat for fewer days than you would otherwise. Yeah. Liberation. Question. Do you think being able to complete the adventure to unlock Trials of Mount Tiamat is a good indicator of whether you can do Trials of Mount Tiamat? No, I would say yeah. The Mad God adventure. It's certainly not a good indicator for whether you can do it solo. But it is at least an indicator that shows, yeah, you're probably ready to actually do, at the very least, the base difficulty, which is normal difficulty for Trials of Mount Tiamat. JDog2773, have you used any lesser vials? Have I? No, I have not. So far, I have only used my prismatic vials. Someone's asking, what is my join code again? So, my join code again, unless we're already full, let's see. Oh, we still have 2 slots! So, Brass Hands and Drezog, cool name, have joined my party, and if you would like to join, your campaign join code is R722. So you still got time. We answered that one earlier. Jaraven, question. How did you see the list of specializations? Okay, so this is cool. Much like how I say always keep at least a tiny blacksmithing contract in your inventory so that you can get to this screen. So you can see all of your item levels easily, all of your gear. Also, always keep a potion of specialization in your inventory, because just clicking on this will bring up your specialization screen, so you can easily see what specialization every character is on. You haven't actually used the potion of specialization yet. You have just opened this screen. You then have to choose the character and then confirm that you want to use it for that character. So you have multiple chances to simply X out or hit the escape button on your keyboard to get out of that screen. But yeah, if you keep a potion specialization in your inventory, then you can just check all of your specializations from this very handy screen. And I have not opened my Glory Bahamut chest. I should do that. Let's see what we get. Okay, rare scrolls, lesser vial, not very exciting. Okay, lesser vial, rare scrolls, alright. Could be better, could be worse. The Raven has another question. How do you quickly warp back to level 1? All you need to do, hold shift on your keyboard and click the little blue arrow to the left of your stage, and then you can, from there, just click on stage 1, and it'll take you back there. Then you can press G to jump back ahead. Oh, Sean, that epic lesser vial is worth 8, by the way? Wait, seriously? Oh, man! Wow, nice. I don't think it indicated that on the card itself, which is why I had a very muted reaction to seeing that. I thought it was peculiar that different rarities just said, like, oh yeah, lesser blood vial, okay. Maybe the card should say how many you're actually getting from that, because that would have been way more exciting to actually see that number, like, oh my god, I got 8? Wow! Canuck Monkey question, if you use a scroll to boost Tmat DPS in a trial on day 2 or later, does it apply retroactively to damage done on earlier days? Or is it best to use the scrolls on day 1 if you think you'll need them? I don't know that. That's a good question. I don't actually know if using scrolls applies their buff retroactively. Gar says it doesn't, and that you should use it on day 1. It would be nice if they did. Especially since, like, your top DPS to get bonus, like, the most damage that you've dealt during a Trials of Tiamat campaign, like, it remembers that value and applies it. It would be nice if that also applied to scrolls. But I suppose it is what it is. Gar says it doesn't work like that it does not work retroactively. That is unfortunate. I should actually use some scrolls at some point, because I still haven't done that. Oh, let's get Fire Breath as well. What are we sitting at? E174. If I can reach, like... I don't know. If I can reach E200 with Tahani, then I think I will be satisfied with her. Or really just, like, if I can get past, let's say, stage 600, it feels like a good number. Okay, I think I am all caught up on new questions currently, so if you have any more questions for me, please throw them in chat. Sasha's grabbing questions. But thankfully, I actually kept the leftovers from last week, so I have some more questions that I can tackle right here. So this is from last week. Surson asked, what is Torgar and Puent's uses again? So Puent makes champions attack slower, but hit harder in exchange. So if there's any situation where you need to do fewer attacks, but hit harder, then he could be useful there. He is certainly not a speed champion. Keep him far away from your speed formations. He also has some use if you are going for a Companions of the Hall formation. He's kind of a pseudo-Companion of the Hall, or like a sidekick or something, because he himself is not a member of the Companions of the Hall, but he has an ability that works specifically with Brunor, who is a member of the Companions of the Hall. So if you're using Companions of the Hall, then you might consider using Puent in that formation. Torgar is a member of the Dark Order. If you're going for an Archon DPS formation, then you should actually consider using Torgar. But also just for evil formations in general. Torgar is to be considered. Mista7352, who would you recommend using for newer players? So, this is from a week ago. There's probably no chance that I can ask for clarification from Mista7352. But I'm going to assume you're asking in regard to this event specifically. So for newer players, well, Tahani is a slot 1 champion, so she would be the easiest to get out on the field consistently as a newer player because she's slot 1. You can just always have her out if you want to. Whereas Puent is a more middle slot, Torgar is a further out slot. But also, Tahani would be competing with Brunor in slot 1. Puent with slot 5 competes with Calliope. Torgar is competing with Tyrell in slot 10. It's honestly kind of a toss-up. For newer players, this one's kind of a toss-up. I think I want to say between these three, Puent for a newer player. But that's real iffy. I'm not committed to that answer. They all have about the same value, in my opinion. Cassius asked, when I said original 12, what about Hitch? Hitch is not an original 12 cast member. Hitch is the very first Evergreen champion, so not core, not event, Evergreen. Just because you get him from a newsletter does not make him a core champion. Onyx Squared, hi Mars, hello, from a week ago. Which event or High Harvest Tide champion do you think is best to farm favor on for the event? Ah, that's a good question. Okay. So, when it comes to farming favor, it comes down to formation shape, in my opinion. Whenever possible, I want single tank, because I like doing Ashara DPS formations, and that means I am almost always going to be using Briv as my tank, and I don't want a second tank slot to have to worry about, because then it's either going to be Ayla or it's going to be Turiel for me, and that's going to mess up my other choices for Ashara DPS. So it's going to be single tanks, it's going to be either Torgar or Tahani. With Tahani, you can get 5 adjacencies, which could be useful, depending on if you use champions that care about adjacencies or not. But this one, it's also hard to place Baloth, because you want Baloth to be ideally like right behind your tank line, and then you'd want your DPS, in my case Ashara, to be right behind Baloth, because you'd want your DPS to be in the column either directly in front of or directly behind Baloth. So that kind of pigeonholes you into one specific scenario here. You're going to have tank, Baloth, DPS, and then everything else. So this is maybe a little bit more difficult to work with. You're kind of restricted in choices more here. Torgar, that hole in the middle might be difficult to work around, but everything else looks pretty good. You've got 4 adjacencies in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different places. It's not bad. It's not bad. Plus, you've also got, like maybe if you're using Moonbeam Tyrell, then you've got no more than 2 adjacencies in multiple spots. Here, 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 or here. So that's also good. Between the two, I'm leaning more toward Torgar. Yeah. This would be a lot easier to work with for myself. I could have my tank, Baloth in either of these slots, and then Ashara in either of these slots. Then I can have Averin, like here, for example, or here, which gives him 4 adjacencies, while making sure that Ashara is one of them. So, yeah, I feel like Torgar is probably going to be the easier to work with for favor farming for me. That being said, I have done 1 deep push already, and it was with Tahani formation, and that did get me up to E39 favor on the first try. So, I could probably get to E40 or higher if I went with the Torgar formation instead. I don't think it's going to be a huge difference, but I think it would make for an easier time overall. Cutmeyer asked a week ago, how do you get Tahani? You can't see her on a time gate. Well, Tahani is the latest champion added to Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. Tahani is in the current event. Tahani isn't in a time gate because she's brand new. When this event is over in 4 days, 21 hours, 37 minutes, then Tahani will be available in a time gate. So she's not in a time gate yet, because she's still new. Silverian, so her DPS is permanent stacking. I was asking about Tahani, I'm assuming. So, yeah. Paint them red. When Tahani attacks, she paints an enemy red, and they paint it up to 3 times. Tahani's damage increased by blah 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 for each stroke of paint on screen, tagging additively. And, yeah, way of the brush. Tahani's damage is increased by 100%. Tahani keeps track of the total number of enemies she has painted across all time. All time. A certain threshold to painted enemies, Tahani increases their layer of the way of brush. Each layer increases this effect by an additional 100%. Stacking multiplicatively. And when Tahani reaches layer 10, blah blah blah. Increase the buff by a little bit more additively. Yeah. So, I farmed 120,000 painted enemies last night by just leaving the game on overnight at 10 times speed. And that brought me up to layer 5 out of 10. So, I'm making my way downtown, walking fast, faces fast, and I'm homebound. It's going pretty okay so far. Putting me at currently a total bonus of 6,300%. Could be better, could be worse. Captain Itchit asked last week, what's a good slot 2 champion to grab from Time Gate? Well, you've actually got some pretty good choices here. Donar is used in the meta for Ashara DPS formations. Korth definitely has some usage as well. Korth can actually reduce your champion's attack timers so that people are attacking faster in general, which is kind of a speed mechanic, but is ultimately negligible. Still, it might help you if you're dealing with a situation where like you just need to kill something really fast, maybe. Like armored enemies might help with. Donar also like just has multiple functions. The fact that Donar can push back, Donar can mark for an enemy to drop more gold, and Donar can also heal anyone in your party is pretty awesome. Donar is very universally applicable, so he's easy to work into almost any party. Talon is just plain fun and very, very strong. Very strong buffs from Talon, but does require like a specific type of formation that you're setting up. You need to pay attention to your alignments that you're using in your formation if you're going to work with Talon. I think bottom line, Donar is probably going to be my top suggestion for slot 2 at the moment. Aqua710 asked last week, so am I wrong in saying that I can get 3 champions from this event, or can I only pick one of them? No, you can get all 3 of these. So you can unlock Gwent, Torgar, and Tahani right now in the current event. And someone asked in chat just a minute ago how much time is left in the current event. You've got 4 days, 21 hours, and 34 minutes currently. So, Monday, this coming Monday, at noon Pacific time. Nope. Yes. Yeah, noon Pacific time on Monday. That is when the event ends. So you have until then to get your event taken care of. Unlock the champions. That's the most important thing you can do, is unlock the characters. Scarlet Adept. Do speed effects work in the background parties? No, I wish they did. What about game offline? No, I wish it did. Formboy01. How do you use Motron cores? Carefully. So, for Motron cores, you have to, 1, unlock the core, obviously, by either completing Split the Party or, paying gems to get the core, depending on which core it is that you're trying to get. Then, you have to get Mojon component chests, which you can get from the shop, but you can also get from patron shops. You scroll down, see there's a Mojon component chest, Mini versus week 1, and each of them will have that. 1. So there's 4 Mojon chests that you can get via in-game free-to-play currency each week. You open up those Mojon component chests, they're going to give you Mojon components. Shorthand, we call them pipes, because they look like pipes. Then you go back into your Mojon core, and you actually place these pipes. And by placing the pipes, you can control the flow of psychomorphic energy that starts at your core node and flows out. So my energy is currently being pumped down into this 20% bracket? I know, not corner, I'll just call it corner piece. That's being pushed into this 4-way piece, which is being pushed in every other way. And this is just kind of how it goes. You use directional inputs of your pieces to direct the flow. You want to make sure that you don't have any looping in on itself, because then you'll have a system error in your Mojon animation, basically, where it will shut off the effect of everything. Ultimately, you want to pipe that psychomorphic energy to the various nodes that are around your Mojon core, because those nodes are what actually give you the bonuses, the power, the buffs that is promised by the Mojon core. And that's as simple as I can put it. Once you unlock a Mojon core, you want to collect Mojon component chests, either with real money or in-game currency, or by simply leveling up your Mojon component, your Mojon cores. Then you open up those chests, you get Mojon components pieces. They're also called pipes. You place those pipes on the core in order to map out where the energy flows. You want the energy to point toward the other nodes that actually give you buffs. And then you're good. You're golden. There's a lot more nuance to it than that, but that's as simple as I can put it for you. And I guess a follow-up from DB6X7 last week. When do you unlock the Mojon core gameplay? Is that after a certain campaign? No. You just need to get 2 champions in each slot. So, like Brunor and someone else. Celeste and someone else. Nelly and someone else, etc. All the way out to slot 12, Archon and someone else. You need at least 2 champions in every slot. And I think you need to beat stage 100 in any campaign. I vaguely recall that being a requirement. It's been so long. But it's pretty simple. Just play the game enough that you have 2 characters in every slot. That's the biggest one. Once you have that, you should be able to see this little button down here for adventuring parties, and you'll see Unlock a New Party. Click on Unlock, and you'll see an adventure called Split the Party. Once you beat that adventure, then you will have unlocked your very first Mojon core, and automation in general, and multi-party mode. So, that's the goalpost that you need to get through. Alright. Ophidian. As a new player, what are the best ways to farm chests and potions? Mad Wizard. So, it's same thing every time someone asks about this. Like, what's the best way to farm gems, chests, or consumable items, or even item levels for your core characters fast? Well, go to your map. Go to Grand Tour of the Sword Coast, the default campaign. Go to this camp right here, the one that's in the Neverwinter Woods. The Mad Wizard. This is the adventure you want. Start up free play. The Mad Wizard adventure has multiple stages that have fast spawners. These are portals or magic orbs or what have you that just force enemies to enter the battlefield more quickly than they do anywhere else. The more enemies spawn, the faster enemies are spawning, the faster you can kill them. The faster you're defeating your opponents, the more quickly you are fulfilling your quest objectives, like this one, 25 enemies defeated. Complete, moving on. 1 giant vulture defeated. Complete, moving on. So the faster enemies are spawning, the faster you can complete those objectives. Thus, the faster you can get to boss stages, beat bosses, get their drops being chests and gems. And now you're on your way. From there, you just need to put in things that make the whole thing go faster. You want speed champions. This would be Deacon, which forces enemies to spawn faster. This would be Havilar, which causes fiend enemies to count twice for quests with the right setup. This would be Sentry, who reduces the quest requirements on a stage. Briv, who skips stages entirely, etc. Shandy just flat out makes the game go faster by 25 or 50%, depending on her specialization. So, use speed champions on Mad Wizard, and if you have access to it, also use the fast core. That's the one with fuzzy white eyebrows, as far as the Mojon cores go, because the fast core actually has speed mechanics. Monster spawn speed up, quest drops bonus, game speed flat out, and gold increase, which helps you level up characters faster so that you can unlock their speed mechanics faster, so you can have them working earlier in the game. Then, just make sure that you have Mojon automation set up so that you have your team cycling at increments of N plus 30, where N equals either stage 0 or stage 50 in the adventure. And there you go. That is how you farm very quickly for gems and chests in general. Also, hey Robo, I see you. See you in chat. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. The TTRPG gifts. It's been a rough week, so pardon me if I'm not the most chipper that I've ever been, but I'm here to do a job, and that job is helping you all with your Idle Champions questions. I do what I can. Prince Guinevere, question, how many achievements do you have, and what's your bonus? I was so close. I was like 3 achievements from being totally, completely done. And then the Trials of Mount Tiamat and the Legendary Forge system was added. So now I'm missing like 29. Yeah, so I'm at 525 out of 554, and my current total bonus is 4.47 E04% increased all champion damage. The only ones I had left to go were my E175 gold and E200 gold, and then just some champions, like the Nerds Ultimate and some Event Champion Ultimates, or Event Champion achievements that I have to do. So I was only missing a few. Just a handful, single digits, and then, blah, here's all these more. Which just means, like, good. More content. More stuff for me to do, more tasks. I like tasks. Is my Trials group ready to go? We have 1 open spot still, so Prelate has joined. Thank you, Prelate. So, I have 1 open slot in my Legend difficulty. This is the 4th difficulty for Trials of Mount Tiamat. If you want to join, the campaign join code is R722. Don't be afraid. But, you know, only join up if you think you can actually do it. We're here to win. We're here to win. Infinite Snakes. Oh dear. It's a terrifying name. What's your thoughts on the fact that Icewind Dale will have an Evergreen champion? Yes, good, more! I mean, that's my thoughts in general when it comes to any topic about Idle Champions. Yes, good, more. That's kind of my default reaction to anything that gets added to the game. Yeah, every campaign should have multiple Evergreen Champions, in my opinion. We have 2 in Tomb of Annihilation, so I would like us to have 2 in every one of them. And probably even more in Grand Tour of the Sword Coast, because Grand Tour is like the one that's just never supposed to end. They're just gonna keep adding stuff to it. So, I guess, in an ideal world, for me, I would have 2 Evergreens in each campaign. One that you unlock like halfway through the campaign, and the other that you unlock at the very end of the campaign. As like an ultimate challenge. Oh, it's got a pop-up. All players are ready. Woo! I love that there's a pop-up for that. Oh, Bunny Beast joined. Nice. All right, so all together. Let's march. All right, good luck, everyone. Make me proud. I will join in when the stream is over. Also, I gotta pick up my car from the mechanic. I'm having the headlights replaced. I'm driving 600 miles tomorrow. Wish me luck. It's a long, long drive. But yeah, I would love an Evergreen Champion in Icewind Dale. I would love multiple Evergreen Champions in every campaign. Canuck Monkey question, what's the benefit to having Bailoff behind your tanks? Probably missed something in his kit. Yeah, so I wasn't actually aware of this until I read through it, but there was something. There was something in here. Unless I misread something. Enemies killed 5 champions in the column ahead or behind Baloth explode in that. Okay, so yeah, as long as your champion is getting kills is in front of or behind Baloth is fine. And all champions in the column in front of or behind Baloth do blah 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 percent more damage per more excitement stack. Okay, yeah. Did I just misread this? I may have simply misread Baloth a few weeks ago. Yeah, I was trying to, Oh, it is the Morbid Excitement build? Did I just misread my misreading? That's a whole nother level. All champions in the column in front of or behind Baloth do more damage per Morbid Excitement stack. Okay. Yeah. Enemy drops more gold, enemy explodes in confetti, champion actually kills an enemy. A champion in the column in front of Baloth takes damage. That's the one! That's the one right there! That's the one right there. You get 5 stacks of Morbid Excitement when a champion in a column in front of Baloth takes damage. Oh, but it's any column in front of Baloth. I missed that. That's a very important word there. I thought it was simply the column directly in front of him. Okay, well, that does make it a lot easier to work with. So my apologies for the misinformation, everyone. I misread that. It's any column in front of Baloth. That makes him even better now in my eyes. I mean, he was already good. Oh, I think we're definitely going to hit that stage 600 goal that I had set for this formation. Nice. I mean, people make mistakes, right? I just think it's important that when a mistake is made, you own up to it. Apologize, correct, and move on. I actually messed something up this morning professionally. I pinged all of C&E for what I thought was a dire situation, and it was outside of work hours, and that was a mistake. I should not have done that. They were already aware. I thought I was being the hero and bringing it to their attention, but they knew already, so okay. No big deal then. I'll go hide. Sorry. Sarvildar? That's just fun to say. Sarvildar! When does the current event end? So Sarvildar, the current event ends, and this is like a teach a person how to fish, and then they'll know. If you click on your event banner at the top, so like the giant letter H over here, click on that event banner, and then in the upper left corner, 4 days, 21 hours, 19 minutes until event ends. There you go. There you go. So that will always tell you when the event is ending, which is also every time it's going to be noon Pacific time zone on Monday. So this upcoming Monday, events last for 12 days, because they start on a Wednesday, and it goes through the rest of that week, that's 5 days, and then another week from that Monday, that's 7 days, until it gets back to that Monday at noon Pacific, and then, whoop, over. So, whew. I am absolutely getting a caffeine buzz from this tea right now. I'm gonna have to be very careful with this tea in the future, I think. This is way stronger caffeine levels than I was expecting. Good that that's gonna help give me the energy that I need to finish packing and getting ready for my trip, though. And thank you, everyone, for your well wishes for my long drive. Worth it. Definitely worth it. Okay, so I believe I'm completely caught up on all of my current questions and even all of my questions from last week. Wow. I should do lower energy streams more often. I actually get a lot of work done this way. That's good. Hopefully this has been helpful to folks. So, I guess now we're just kind of coasting along. Let's get some more familiars out here. Well, actually, no, let's just take them away. Because I'd rather see that they actually can get this done on their own merit. What are these enemies' health at? Like 165? Nice! Okay. So, we're at level cap now. So my team might be done as far as getting this bud up. We're at E180. I don't know. Chat, let's talk about it. If we were to make any adjustments to this formation, what would you suggest, chat? This is obviously doing fine. I mean, we're going over stage 600 without even really trying, so... things could be, certainly, much worse. But it's also not optimal, I'm sure. So what do you think? Other than changing out Chaka, Solis, and Tahani. Remember, the goal here is we are using Tahani DPS, we want Murder Bird, and we also must use her affiliation members, i.e. Chaka and Solis. So that's 3 out of 10 champions accounted for. Skinny B, 1981. Question. When trying to get retired event champ achievements, how many times do you have to restart to get these specific event variants? When trying to get retired event champion achievements, how many times do you have to restart to get specific event variants? I'm not sure what you mean. Trying to get specific event variants shouldn't matter for event champion achievements. Oh, do you mean for time gates? So the time gates will give you, like, here's a base time gate adventure to run and you get a chest. Here's a second base time gate adventure to run and you get a chest. Okay, you do mean time gates. Okay, thank you for confirming in chat there, Skinny. And then the third one will be a variant from that champion's event. Okay. That will be a randomly chosen variant for any variants that you have not completed before. And then if you have completed all of their variants before, then it'll just be a random one of their variants. Given that an event champion always has 3 variants to do, that means, at the most, it's going to take 3 time gates in order for you to get all of their variants. So hopefully that answers your question sufficiently. It'll be, at the most, it'll be 3. Lord Blackblood. Hi, Mars. Hi, Lord Blackblood. Do you think we'll ever see some kind of compendium in the game with all the enemy descriptions and pictures? Oh, like a bestiary? Oh, I would love to scroll through all those creature designs while adventuring. Me too! Very much! And, like, the art assets are already there, you know? They wouldn't even have to, like, make new ones. Just, like, take them and put them in, like, a journal that I can flip through. Yeah, I am a sucker for that stuff. I love that stuff. Like, I'm not kidding. I would put gems toward that. Like, imagine if there was, like, a, I don't know, like, if it was an unlockable thing. Ugh. Can you imagine if there was, like, maybe there were achievements for, like, a bestiary? Your monster manual! Yes, your monster... Imagine! Okay, let's picture this. What if there was a monster manual game system? And it was, like... it was a gem sink, so that you put gems in... You pull a lever or whatever they dress it up as. Basically, you're pulling a lever, and then it gives you like a gacha. It gives you a random monster has been added to your bestiary or your monster manual, and when you get through like X number of monsters unlocked in your monster manual, you get an achievement for it. Maybe like 1, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, etc. What if you got an achievement bonus from that? So like that's kind of the little reward that you get for going through those motions. Like, don't just slap it into the game, but like actually make it a game system. Oh, that'd be fun. Oh gosh, I would love that. All of my gems would go to that. Like I would drop all 600,000 gems I have in a heartbeat if we actually had that. Ah. It's like there's some JRPGs I've played where you can collect figurines by putting in random materials. And it was always so much fun. Like, oh, what am I gonna get this time? Oh, it's a boss! It's a boss I haven't even fought yet! Oh, that's so cool! Or, ooh, this is like an alternate skin for a character. Oh, that's so cool. And it's just a little figurine. Like, it doesn't do anything. It's just... it's another thing to collect. A big part of playing Idle Champions is the fun of collecting. Like that dopamine hit that you get from just getting a thing, so... an in-game monster manual that you collect the entries for. Maybe it even have like a one-paragraph blurb about the monster. Like, oh yeah, this character like appears in this campaign, and like this they're weak to fire, resistant to poison. Watch out, adventurer! Like little blurbs like that. Ooh! Ah, I would love that. But this is all just conjecture. Gar says, here's the problem. They named it after Volo, and he's a hack. He doesn't deserve the promotion. Yeah, that would be great. Imagine that. Imagine if it was like if there was kind of a console UI, like forward-facing portrait of Volo as part of the UI for that. Like, oh, hello, adventurer. I've been all over the place tracking down. If you would like to fund my research, then I would gladly provide you with information about the terrible foes that you must face on your journeys. And like that's the lore explanation for why you're paying gems to get random notes about monsters that you fought. It's because you're actually commissioning Volo to write these as entries for your monster manual. That'd be incredible! Oh yeah. God, that'd be good. Okay, I'm gonna shut up now. Let's move on to something else. God, I'd love that though. Captain Nidget question: I've started using Spurt, I've never seen him gain a wasp stack. Is it bugged, or is the wasp debuff a damage over time and it has to get the kill, not a champion? No, keep talking. Well, yeah, of course. I suppose that is what they pay me for, after all. Let's take a look at Spurt. So we can actually discuss Spurt stacks. Alright, so whenever Spurt attacks an enemy, Wasp swarm that enemy until they're killed. When 4 Wasp enemies are killed, Spurt invents a random effect for 60 seconds. Current Wasp swarm kills 2. Okay, so there is an effect. If you look carefully, there is like a little wasp icon. Oh, there's one right there. There's one right there. It gets covered up by the other icons almost immediately, but if you look fast, you can actually see that wasp stack build up. So it's happening. If you don't see that happening in your game, then you might have a bug, and you might want to actually put in a ticket about that. Of course, I suppose it's wasps, so you want bugs. Sorry. Canuck Monkey question, what's the story with the Red Pandas? I say most of the theme skins, I have no idea what the Red Pandas about. So, once upon a time, we had a live play D&D extravaganza with like an all-star cast. It was so cool. Called Idle Champions Presents. They did 2 stories. And featuring characters such as Melf and Avalar and Baloth, Briv, Black Viper. It was a good time. Ariza. At one point, during one of the streams, Red Pandas entered the scene, so to speak. Basically, everyone had to become a red panda. It was kind of a meme that just kind of took the community by storm. The cast loved it. C&E loved it. The people watching loved it. It was a funny little moment that just grew and grew and grew. And now we have Red Panda skins and Red Panda familiars and Red Panda skins for non-Red Panda familiars. It kind of became a huge thing. I love cosmetics in general, so I'm okay with it. That being said, Red Panda Freely is the stuff of nightmares. Sarvaldar, question, what's your stance on blessings versus favor? Got about 50 champs, nice. Is it more important to get higher with more favor, or is it more important to get more buffs from blessings? It actually depends on the blessings. I would argue that global blessings are always going to be the most important because they apply to everything. Even events and time gates. You will always have those effects. So, global blessings specifically, I would say, are going to be, like, more important. Very important always. Local blessings, it depends on the blessing. Like, the ones that just, like, give, like, just damage increase. Okay, cool. But that's only going to help if you're in that campaign. Blessings are not all cut from the same cloth. Your mileage will vary with different blessings. That being said, you play the game long enough, you reach a point where it doesn't matter. You don't need to think about it. Here's my Torm. It cost 1.10 E24 Torm's Favor to have every single Torm's Blessing for Grand Tour of the Sword Coast. I have 1.74 E70 Torm's Favor. So this isn't even a drop in the bucket. This is utterly nothing. So eventually you get to a point where the fact that you have to spend favor on blessings is completely negligible. It only matters, like, while you're working up to that point. So, focus on getting your global blessings. I wouldn't worry as much about the local blessings. Ultimately, what matters is just getting your favor up high enough that you can get all of the blessings, and then not worry about it anymore. Bobcast, can you show Tiamat zone requirements that you just started? I can, and I shall. Here you are. So, day 1, I gotta beat 400, then 440, 480, 520, 560, 600, and 640. My current restriction is only champs with a dex score of 10 or higher can be used. That's not a problem. Most of the champions have a good dex score. Oh, it looks like all of my teammates have already gotten started. Nice. Way to go, y'all. Good luck to all of us. And this will be the last question from Mr. Blonde42. Question, I have more event tokens than I need to get full epic on Torgar and Tahani. Should I open a time gate for Stokey or Farida? Or get more gear for Plint? Are you also full epic on Plint? If you're full epic on every one of those, on all 3 of the currently available event champions, then I would say between Stokey and Frida, I'd go Stokey. Because Frida is DPS and just straight DPS, that's it, just DPS, 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 DPS. So if you're not using Frida as DPS, then she's not doing anything for you. Stokey, however, is a support character, so she's going to be more situationally useful than Frida will ever be, just by the nature of the game. Support characters are just simply used more often than DPS characters are, because when it comes to DPS characters, you pick one, and that's it. Typically. So, if you still have epics left to get on Plint, yeah, do that. If you are caught up on all 3 of them, then go for Stokey. There you go. Okay, so I think that's going to do it for us. That's going to bring us to the top of the hour. Whew! 46 plus our leftovers from the last week, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Nice, that puts me at 57 questions. Sweet. Oh, well, 58. Canuck Monkey. Is there a way to spend event tokens to buy chests for retired event champions? From what I understand, yeah. I don't think you're supposed to be able to do this. They're probably going to fix it, but from what I understand, if you are in an event and then you start a time gate for a champion that's retired from that event, then you can go into your shop and actually like spend event tokens on chests for those retired characters. Which is weird. Do I get paid by the question? No. It's just a personal goal. I just like the... I felt like the number 50 was a good target to go for. Yeah, Garo would get paid a lot more than me if we did get paid by the question. Anyway. That's going to do it for us. So, thank you, everyone, for joining me for this episode of Mars Guiding Hand. It looks like we're going to actually beat 700 with Tahani DPS. So, I mean, for people saying Tahani DPS is bad, you can still clear 700 with the right setup, so this is fine. Sure, she could be better. She could also be a lot worse. Regardless, she's fun. And isn't that the most important thing at the end of the day? Like, if you just want a murder bird as your DPS, then do it. It's viable. That's all that really matters for a DPS character, is making sure that they're viable to use as a DPS character. The end. They don't have to be the most optimal every single time. That would get boring. Tahani is setting the bud. Yes, she is. Okay, I gotta go. I want to linger because I love doing this. This has honestly been the highlight of my week, actually, so thank you sincerely for joining me. I think this helped lift a weight off of my spirit, so to speak. Make sure and tune into all of the awesome shows that we have right here on the CD Games Twitch channel. There are so many. And we just keep getting more! And I love it. I love that we do. You can follow Idle Champions on social media. Please join our communities, such as on Discord, Reddit, Steam discussion forums, elsewhere. I mean, we're all over the dang place at this point. You can find me on Twitter, at Ryan Blake Hall. I also stream on my own Twitch channel. Just call me Mars, please. That's Storyteller Mars, my Twitch channel. Idle Champions, wood burning, live reading, and other games. I've been playing a lot of Tales of Arise. Thank you to Cutting Entertainment, as always. I love you all. Stay safe wherever you are in the multiverse. Be kind to one another. Thank you to Sasha for taking all the questions. And yeah, long drive. I'll see you all next week. And until then, look sharp. Alright. I'm outie. Money lender Mars. Do 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 do.